that fucking
Hey,
shorter.
yeah, man. I kept complaining. Nobody plays this map. We were the only ones who played it. I kept complaining about it, and they actually changed that. And also, the other thing I was complaining about, the hard spot to get up here, they changed that too. I found that super interesting. Super, super interesting.
You're muted, Pike.
Oh. Did
There
you?
you
There we go. Now you can hear me.
go. I heard you through like Goran stream or Goran watching you stream.
Thank God for that. I'm gonna start adding everybody I know. I don't have much time to make this bracket, so I'll make it as quick as I can.
Oh, and then they made one on the other side too. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, we're gonna be doing a roster check. I'm giving 2 more minutes for the guys to show up. Goodbye. I don't know who that is.
My God, I gotta win.
It's already too late, I believe. Okay, this is the brackets. There's only 15 people that actually signed up for this one. Well, I had 21 in total, but some didn't show up. Hopefully they end up showing up and I can use them as substitutes. So if you guys want to look at inside the stream chat, I'm going to post the brackets for you right there. That's the challenge.com. Let me just change the name of my stream here. I'm going to post it over here as well. And I'm going to post it in Discord as well for you guys there. Our first match coming up is actually going to be Shavers Only versus Azog Margus. So who do we have here? This is Shavers Only, and this is Azog Margus. Perfect. They're working out. I really like that. That's a really good sign for the beginning of this tournament. I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our 44th. Oh, I forgot to put my tourney on from yesterday. But this is our 44th 1v1 tournament. This is probably the 13th recorded 1v1 tournament. Thank you for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick look at Azog Margus. I'm going to let them know once more what the rules are so everybody's on the same page. Hold on, there's just a whispered. Yep. One sec, guys. So take a look over here at Jennifer Sparrow, I believe I'm looking at. She's got Rune of the Leadership with Demolisher, also running with Rifle. She's got Alchemy, Tools, and Hollowsmith. Now we look at Kali Azog on this side, running the Warrior, Spellbreaker. This is going to be an interesting matchup, both with a lot of CCs. And both with who can pump out a lot of damage. Defense, Discipline, and Spellbreaker. He's also running with the Greatsword, Axe, and Shield with Strength and Demolisher. Now, Azog already using that shield, which is probably not the greatest idea. He does get the big charge on him. He avoids the shockwave coming out from the Hollow Smith. The Hollow Smith tries to do the Hollow Leap. He's not able to get good damage down, but good job by Jennifer being able to resustain. Uses Photon Wall, gets a big overcharge shot on Azog, but when he gets him down, he's supposed to be able to capitalize on that damage. Azog doing a good job of mitigating most of it. He again misses the shockwave. Good job from Azog from dodging. Now Jennifer's under some big pressure. He's trying to counter as much as he can. Does a pretty good job. Azog is down around half. Let's look at Jennifer's cooldowns. Still got Elixir S and U and Prime Light Beam. Good pull on the Mage Bane by Kazog. Jennifer just trying to cleave some more. Misses again on the Shockwave. Trying to keep the pressure. He's getting low. He's still got the Elixir S. Being patient on using it. Not getting too squirrely or excited. That's good patience. Nice land on the Prime Light Beam. Tries to get the overcharge. Doesn't miss it. I think that was maybe a stability. Or that was just the LOS on that side. Jennifer trying to get away. Finally pops the healing turret. Kazog tries to get the Whirling Wind and does not connect on it. Now the Mage Bane, big pull on the Mage Bane. He can't capitalize on the big, oof, that might be it for him. Oh yeah, manages to evade that, but no, that's a Zog that takes, Kalia Zog that takes the first one. Now, as I mentioned, guys, for these matches, there's only two rules. The first rule is you cannot change your class, and the second rule is the 3 specs that you have spec'd into, you cannot change. So, Alchemy, Tools, and Hollowsmith, these are the 3 specs that he cannot change. He can't change all these traits. He can change his weapons, his sigils, his ami, his rune. He can change his utilities. Anything else he can change. So he can make any adjustments between the round. That's why it's best of 3. So you don't get just knocked out and countered really hard. You have the option to be able to mitigate some of that. Let's make sure these guys know it's a best of 3 series. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, check out my highlights videos. It's all my 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and I do Fashion Wars contents. So if you like this stuff, click that follow or click that subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna let that Tito guy have.
Okay, let him know that you took his spot. His name's Cheeto.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jennifer Sparrow's already in stealth. Now, Kylie already uses the shield. This should be a good opportunity for Sparrow, knowing that most of his damage mitigation has been taken away. So he doesn't have that shield. He's just got to hide and use that shockwave. That was a really quick shockwave, used right in Elixir U. Good job by Jennifer Sparrow, but not able to capitalize on it. Doing some heavy pressure. And auto attack from Hollowsmith is your main damage source. So he had the quickness and he was just spamming. Now he goes into Elixir U. So it's kind of like a little bit of a... They both know that they're both oh shit buttons are used. Big Bull's charge actually lands on Sparrow. Sparrow's in big trouble. Gets the Whirlwind. Big heavy damage. Now Jennifer trying to get away. Kazog pops his shield again. He's in stealth. Can he get the shockwave? No, he should have waited a little longer in order to catch that because he was still in the shield animation. He got a little unlucky on it. He can use the Corona Burst for some stability, which is really important against the Warrior who's got the Mage Bane on him. He's able to cleave some more down. Oh, big stun. Tries to get the Prime Light Beam. Good hit. He's actually quite low right here, but I would say the Warrior has the advantage when it comes to this type of health pool. He does have the healing turret. He can drop it and combo inside it to regain almost back to full health. His Elixir S does come back on proc. Let's take a quick look at Kali's dog. He's still got his Shake It Off, so he's got a stun break, but there's not much Condi coming from Sparrow, so he's going to use it as a stun break. He tries for the full counter, doesn't land. The jump shot doesn't land either. Whirlwind is wisely evaded by Sparrow, goes into stealth. Kazog is just cleaving the area, trying to get anything down. The photon wall comes up. Now Kazog is looking much better in this situation. There's only 8 seconds left in this map mechanic. So after the map has actually run out of time, there is 0 healing, and there's an AoE effect that comes from both of the spawns that eventually encroaches onto the entire map. So positioning is key. And that actually goes up to Azog for the first match. Our next match after this is going to Alex versus Grand Bell. That's going to be our next match. But it's actually Cheeto that's taking his spot. I don't know if Cheeto's in there. Alex, is Cheeto in there?
Yes. He's Valiant Cold.
Perfect. Next match is Valiant Cole versus, what was it? Shavers only, did I say? Grand Bell. So let's take a quick look over here. Valiant Cole has been in the past 3 or 4 of my tourneys really. He also runs with Daredevil. He does quite well, actually. He's gotten beaten up by Bounty a couple times on his core Necro, so he kind of got cheated out a couple times from making it really far into the tournament. But he always puts on a good performance, is what I want to say. He always puts on a good performance. So let's take a look over here. Daredevil with Demolisher. He's also running with Axe Shield, with Greatsword, running Strength, Defense, and Spellbreaker. Let's take a quick look at Connie Reeve. Now, I'm not sure who Connie Reeve is. Grand Bell. I don't think I've ever seen them in my tournaments either, but he's running Wilderness, Nature Magic, and Soul Beast. We got Rune of Leadership and Paladine Amulet. Now, Valiant Cole is a good gatekeeper for these tournaments, so I'm going to see how well Connie Rabo does based on how well he can do against Valiant Cole. Valiant Cole is a good benchmark for these tournaments. He's doing a good pressure, mitigates some of the damage. He was not able to get the Worldly Impact down onto Valiant Cole. He's doing a good job. He's still got the Mage Bane. Even if he doesn't get the pull, he does get the extra damage that he can get from that. Now they both are sustaining quite well. This looks like it might go to the map mechanic, and this first time you guys will be able to see it. Sorry guys, I just got a whisper. So they're just standing toe for toe right now. Valiant Cole is getting the better of the exchange, getting some good whirlwinds. I don't think he's burned through any of his cooldowns. Actually, he has burned through a lot of them, but it's a warrior. The cooldowns are kind of just bonus. They can just do a lot of damage and stuns just by their weapon skills and their passives that they have. The Mage Bane's been procced. He's trying to get some big damage on Connie Revo, but Connie Revo does have quite a bit of sustain running Paladine Amulet with Rune of the Leadership. Oof, getting really low. Valiant Cole putting the pressure. Actually, it lands the Worldly Impact, but there's so much sustain coming from Valiant Cole. It's almost like it didn't even affect him. The Worldly Impact is supposed to put down that big pressure, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it. Valiant is pretty much sitting at full health. Finally able to get some big pressure. He's got the poison down, which is doing some good damage. And that's one of the main things you want to keep on Warrior is poison. But it just wasn't enough. Valiant Cole putting a lot of pressure, constantly staying on Revo. Revo should try to use maybe some of the no port spots. And as I mentioned, if you look over here, this little pillar used to be much bigger and much more prominent. But we actually complained about it. People were saying it was just too dominant. People were trying to take the red side because that would be just because of that. And after 2 or 3 weeks, they closed it up.
And so, would you think that's like gonna make games a lot more fair?
He makes it. Not only does it make the games much more fair, but on the top of it, now everybody is starting to use the entire map. They're not being so focused. When this thing was more prominent and much higher, everything was focused around this area. And now that it's been removed, people start to use the other areas, the other no port spots. They start to push into spawn a little more. It actually lets you use the entirety of the map, which is very, very interesting. And I found it really cool that nobody really uses it, only us for the tournaments, and they actually changed it. I'm not sure what that is. That you going sipping on your little bong there? Okay, they just have to ready up to start.
Sorry.
Valiant Cole putting up the big pressure right away onto Connie Ferro. Connie Ferro can't just stand there and take that face tank that damage. He's got to be a little bit more kitey and try to at least dodge or evade, go through a lot of that big damage. At least void the Whirlwind, the Arcing Slice, things of that nature. Try not to get hit by that full counter. Sorry guys, I'm still getting whispers. Now Revo's got to try to get away from him. At least create a little bit of distance so they can get some cooldowns. Valiant doesn't seem to He doesn't look like he's going too ham or too crazy, so it's going to be easy for Revo to kind of kite away. He doesn't have any cooldowns right now, and this would be the opportunity for them to kite away. They are the Ranger. They do have a good ability to get away, but he got him in a big bull's charge, 100 blades. Tries. Oh, man, that was big damage. Connie Revo trying to get the worldly impact, but Valiant Cole quickly putting up the shield. And as I mentioned, Valiant Cole has been in a couple of my tourneys, the last 4 or 5. I consider him kind of like a gatekeeper. Kind of lets you know if you're ready for these or not. But I accept anybody of any skill level to come in. It's a great place to see classes that you want to play in action, and there's a lot of good competitors that are in here. Once we get to the quarterfinals, semifinals, the cream will start rising a little higher, and we're going to get some really good matches. It looks like we're getting really close to the timer right now. There's only 15 seconds left, and you guys are actually going to be able to see it. As I mentioned earlier, there's no more healing after the timer, and there's an AoE effect that comes from here, and there's an AoE effect that comes from here, and eventually encroaches onto the entire map and pushes the competitors onto this area. So terrain and knowing your ground and where you're standing is very, very important. Trying to control the upper hand. Revo doesn't look like they're going to make it much farther. As I said, there's no more healing. The AoE effect is already starting to encroach. So for you, those of you who haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. Connie actually doing a pretty good job there. And downstate, they can do... Yeah, this could be very, very, very dangerous. No, it doesn't look like he doesn't have enough. Oh, but if Valiant Cole died on the other side of Connie Revo, that might be a different story because the AoE does a lot of damage and could destroy them. So it's actually Valiant Cole that takes that one. Our next match is going to be Joker versus Jake. We're going to take a quick look at them as well. And take this time to thank you guys for watching, guys. I really, really, really do appreciate it. I do these every single day between 8 and 11 p.m. I do either a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or a Fashion Wars contest. I'm just trying to put as much content out to you guys as I can. So if you like this type of stuff, click that follow, click that subscribe. Thank you so much, man. So our next match is actually supposed to be Joker versus Jake. Murph the Scrapper is actually Jake, and there's NG Powers, which is actually Onilicious, but that's Joker's ult. So let's take a quick look at Murph over here is running Rune of Resistance with Demolisher. Oh, and he also had Sword Shield, which is interesting. Inventions, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. Interesting. Now let's take a look at NG Powers. What's that? Yeah, NG Powers over here is running Rune of the Sanctuary, going a little more bunky and going with Paladin Amulet. I'm not sure if Joker fully understands that the map mechanic is involved, especially with two Hollows. Hollows have really good sustain and they have really good reset, as their cooldowns are very, very, very short, especially their healing turret. Now he's also running Alchemy. He's not running Inventions like Merp. He's running Alchemy Tools and Hollowsmith. Okay, interesting. I don't know if they're making any last minute changes, but ready up to start. So here we go, we're starting off our first match. We're still in the beginning, guys. I'm going to post my challenge.com bracket inside the Twitch channel again so you guys can see it. If you'd like to see the brackets, here you go. So I just posted the bracket again so you can see it in there. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. I've only been doing this for about 3 weeks. As of 2 days ago, it's been my official 3rd week anniversary, if you want to call it. I do these every single day between 8 and 11 p.m. I post in my Twitch a couple hours in advance so you know when they're happening. But every day between 8 and 11, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or a Fashion Wars contest. Murph trying to go in for the Prime Light Beam, gets a big Prime Light Beam on NG, and NG smartly going into the Elixir S to try to mitigate any damage following. This is going to be really good. It's supposed to be, I'm sure it's going to be a quick match, but then again, like I said, they both have good sustain coming out of both characters. Good Photon Blitz with Shockwave coming out onto NG Powers. Murph getting the better of the exchange right here. NG Powers has got to be really careful here. Let's take a quick look at his cooldowns. He does have Healing Turret about to come up. He's using his shield for the extra mitigation. He gets the shield block. He's got a combo inside that field that I think he popped it really too quickly. The water field didn't even come up. He does have the Prime Light Beam ready to go in action. Murph is getting much better of the exchange over here. NG Powers, oof. Murph just trying to get away, but I don't know if that was a good idea because this actually gave NG a little more time to mitigate some damage, get some extra cooldowns. He does have the Prime Light Beam if he needs to get a little more distance. Ooh, good stun on that. He was not able. Ooh, that was a beautiful stun, but able to mitigate. That was a beautiful stun by Murph, seeing him really low, and the healing turret was actually up. He stunned him, so he wasn't able to use his healing turret. Came up, put some extra pressure onto him, and was able to get that quick down. Really good job by Murph. Let me take a look at his name here. Jake. Okay, I think I've seen Jake maybe once or twice, but not very frequently, so he's kind of new to me. Joker I've seen once or twice as well, but they're both kind of new. I know Joker is good, and I've seen Jake frequently, so I think they're both really good competitors. And it's interesting to see a double holo, but they do have a little difference in their build, like I mentioned. Over here, one is actually running Inventions with Alchemy and Holo, and the other is actually running Tools with Alchemy and Holo. Let me see how they're running. Yeah, they're similar, but he's going over here with HGH, and actually NG Powers is going for Iron Blooded. I was never a huge fan of Iron Blooded, to be honest, and he's also got Hard Light Arena. They both are running with Hard Light Arena. The exact same utilities, except for the shield over the... No, both shield. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I don't think NG Powers has made any major changes. Maybe he was running with HGH before because he does have 2 elixirs as a utility, which would make sense to be able to put up some extra pressure. But then again, it doesn't look like he's going for extra pressure. And once again, he did change. He went for an invisible analysis. And this could really help, especially facing holos, because holos like to open up, or let's say even 10 seconds into the match, they'll pop their... Toss Elixir S and go into stealth, and then that'll open up with the shockwave. This way you cannot see the animation, and the animation is super obvious and it makes it difficult to connect with. So they always usually go into stealth and then drop the shockwave. NG Powers, it looks like Murph has already got the superior position. He's sitting in the no port spot. I don't know if he fell down on purpose or if he's trying to lure him into the smaller area where he can really get full use of his shockwave. NG Powers actually landing his shockwave onto Murph, trying to get the... Oof, really good job over there. I think that's the... I forgot the Prismatic Singularity, I believe it's called. Yeah, Prismatic Singularity. He actually gets the Whirlwind, not getting the Rampage, but using it to its full extent, getting the stun right away, coming right out of Tornado and trying to damage. He gets the Shockwave again, Holo Leap on top, no Photon Blitz, goes into the shield. Murph gets the big Prime Light Beam onto Engie. Engie's in a big dangerous spot. He's already used his Elixir S, so there's a lot of pressure onto him, and Murph knows he has no more oh shit handle. Murph's at full health. He's got a lot of cooldowns. He's sitting in a really good position. But as I mentioned, Holos resustain and cooldowns come back really fast. They reset fights very quickly. Ooh, tries to get him in the Prismatic Singularity once more. I just learned a new move name today, guys. Woo woo, Prismatic Singularity. Engie taking a lot of damage over here. Tries to get the Shockwave. Actually manages to get it again. That's 3 Shockwaves that Engie Powers is actually able to manage to land onto Murph Scrapper over here. That was really, really impressive. He lands some of his own, but he's able to put down the pressure. That's what you need to do. Scrappers have 3 sorts of stun breaks, or big stuns and CCs. The Prime Light Beam, the Shockwave, and the Overcharge. And each one of them is a great setup for their burst. So it's really difficult to fight Engies, but if you can get through most of those 3 openers, then you pretty much have the Scrapper in hand. Or if you have a stability. And we only got 15 seconds left. He goes into Tornado once again. Murph trying to keep some pressure down. This is where you really want to get as much damage as you can just before the map is finished or the timer has come up. This is a great position right now for Engie Powers, but Murph smartly tops himself up in health just before the timer because there's no more healing. Now Engie is in a very difficult spot. He's trying to get the benefit of the terrain over here. He's trying to get the better positioning, but this looks like there's just too much pressure from Murph. But actually NG Powers is putting some good pressure down. He's got to watch out for the AoE. I don't think he's fully aware that the AoE is coming. Murp is still not fully down. Ooh, if he can push him or knock him back. Murp doesn't see the AoE. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Murp doesn't. Oh, there we go. Murp finally notices it and moves it away. Good job by Murp taking that one. Let me just see who Murp is. Murp is actually Jake, so Jake moves forward. Our next match coming up, guys, is going to be Enlil versus Zach. So Jake takes this one. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I put these on daily, every single day, from 8 to 2, somewhere between 8, 10, 11. That's the time frame when I'll do them. So I finish work. I never know what time I finish work, so it's always in between there. And every single one of my tournaments is in my highlights video. I forgot to put yesterday's highlight, but I'm going to do that at the same time as I do this one once it's over. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We're going to be starting our next match, which is Inkyo. Nice, they're both in here. Damn it, I can't ask them to wait. Alex, are you here? He's gonna start ignoring me soon. No, Alex is here. He actually abandoned me. So let's take a quick look at Zach over here. He's running. We're actually with a Revenant, Invocation, Devastation with Herald. He's actually got Strength Rune with Demolisher, Sword with the Staff. Let's take a quick look at Enlil over here. Yeah, I think this is Enlil. Yeah, and he's running the Core Necro. Core Necro has been really, really strong in my tournaments. Very impressive if you're able to use them. But the disadvantage, their only counters really are good job by Enlil getting the good pressure onto Zaki. He's just got to watch out for the glint, which I think he's already gone through. But this is the problem with Core Necro. They're very, very dominant in most of their 1v1s. They control the pace and the tone of most matches. But when they go against really high bursty classes like Core Guardians or Revenants, they really have a hard time. They don't have enough time to build up any Death Shroud. And as well, there's just too much in their face. They're very slow casting. They need to be able to get their fears off and be able to do the damage while their opponent is in fear and at a certain distance. But with a type of like a Revenant class style, it's just too much in their face, and they're not able to mitigate the damage and get the pressure off and be able to put some damage and build some shroud. So Enki's got to do a really good job of controlling the terrain here, getting on no port spots. This should be his high priority, making sure he gets on the no port and getting the superior terrain right from the start. Maybe using, ooh, he doesn't have any sort of port. He's using summon bone minions. He's making some changes over here, going with a flesh golem. Let's take a quick look at Enki over here really quick. He's running Rune of the Undead with Deadshot. He's got Scepter Focus with the Staff, and he's also got Soul Reaping Curses with Spite. Zaki over here will take another look. I don't think he's making any changes. Herald, Devastation, Invocation. He's running with Rune of Strength and Amulet, Sword with Staff. And guys, I'm not dual monitoring, and my phone is kind of dead, so I can't see the chat. In between each match, I'll try to come back to the chat and see if you guys are saying anything. And I will post the brackets one more time. Here, let me just come back really quick right now. There, I posted the brackets for you guys right there. We're moving forward. I think I've updated them everywhere. Yeah. The next one, actually, this is going to be really good. Shriner versus Artemis. That's going to be a good fight. So good job by Enki right away. And look at that. He's going right into Lich form to try to mitigate the big burst coming from Zaki and able to build up some life force. But will it be enough? I don't know. He got him with the shackling. Well, that was really quick work by Zaki. But then again, like I mentioned, it's hard for a Core Necro to be able to get the advantage against that type of character. And Zaki is no slouch. A very, 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 very strong competitor. And this is a really good sign. This tournament is rolling really smooth. Everybody's here, and that's why I do my roster check from 9 to 9:15 to make sure that everybody is signed up is here. I actually had a total of 23 people that signed up for this tournament, and only 16 showed. And if I didn't do my roster check and take that extra little time, we would have been in a clusterfuck right now. But right now it's going really smooth, and people are starting to recognize my tourneys and understand how they do them, so they're being really patient, and everything's going really, really, really well. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I appreciate it. Is that you, Alex? Or was that Goran? What you laughing at, boy?
Laughing at you, dude.
Thanks, Goran. Oh, what is this? Not Enlil, whoops. Artemis versus Shriner.
Oh shit. Yeah, she's got this for sure.
Hold on.
Oh, what? Where you on?
I'm just gonna run to map chat really quick. I gotta shamelessly promote. You know, I gotta shamelessly promote, guys. This is what I do. This is my thing. Thick skin shameless promoter. I gotta run to map chat really quick, shamelessly promote, and then I'm gonna run right back. I won't miss anything. I asked the competitors to wait, so I think we'll be good. Don't worry.
True.
Ah, damn it. I posted the wrong thing. Give me 1 second, guys. This is the only delay that you'll see is when I do stuff like this. Usually I'll have someone who helps me with it. Hey guys, once again, for those who haven't seen, this is the bracket. I posted it into the Twitch. And here's the bracket once again. I'll post it into map chat. Here we've already started it up. Sip My Ocean is already, okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for waiting, guys. I really appreciate that. Now we're looking over here at Artemis Flame. She's really strong. Ellie, played Ellie for a long time. She's entered a couple of my tournaments, but not for a long time. So I'm super excited that she's entered into this one. And I'm sure she's going to go very far. Who does she have facing against her is actually Shriner. Shriner is no slouch either. We got Core Necro versus a Weaver. Let me take a quick look at Artemis again, what she's wearing and running with Rune of the Ore, Sage Amulet, Fire Arcane with Weaver. Let's take a quick look at over here at Unevolved Derbs. Artemis is really skilled. Shriner is really skilled as well. This is going to be a really good match. He's got a lot of Reaper Shroud already up, or Shroud up as well. Using the no port sports really good, kiting really well, trying to mitigate a lot of damage, doing really well. He's gone through a lot of cooldowns. Let's take a look at Artemis. Artemis is sitting pretty good. This is going to be a battle of attrition right now. I think it's probably going to go to the map mechanic, to be honest. As both of them have a lot of sustain. Sorry guys, I'm just responding to some... Yeah, oh, unevolved Derbs is taking big damage, and as I mentioned, Artemis is a very strong Weaver. Been playing Weaver for a long time. She tries to main that class, and she's been playing with some really strong competitors as well. So you're just as good as who you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with strong players, you're gonna get strong. And she's really committed to this class as well, as you can see. Great performance by Artemis. She takes that first match. I'm not sure who Magabai is. Let me see if he's in here. That's Saki. I think that's you. That's Death May. That's Cora. Nature's Salad. Oashi plus Ultra. Who's Magabai? Fuck. I probably misspelled someone's name and now they're gonna get all angry at me. So this is game 2. I'm just trying to see if I can find this Magabai guy. That's Caesar. Shavers only. That's Azog. Zeki. So Magaboy. Okay, sweet. Thank you, Zeki. Sweet. So Magaboy is going to be replaced by Space Pen. Space Pen's a strong competitor. Let's take a look at Derbs over here. I don't think he's made any major changes to his build, to be honest. Curse his soul reaping with blood magic. Still, maybe Doliak. Yeah, he would maybe Doliak for a little more defense. Big fear, but Artemis quickly breaks that fear. He's got a lot of Shroud, trying to get some pressure down with the life transfer. He's using his Signet already, Signet of the Locust. Artemis just mitigating all that damage, keeping the heavy pressure. Involved trying to get away, goes into Reaper or Lich form, just trying to get anything down, comes right out of the Lich, maybe just to try to keep some counter pressure. He's in Spectral Walk as well to try to sustain the Life Force while he's taking the damage, but this doesn't look good. His best option is just try to mitigate as much as he can. The burning stacks are just so incredible. Artemis is stacking them very proficiently. Good job right here by Derbs, just by creating some distance. He's got to do that as much as he can. His consume conditions is coming up, and hopefully, thankfully, he at least had that burning.
Nice interrupt.
I need one replacement for the 1v1. If anybody in Twitch would like to be a replacement, hold on, guys. If anybody in Twitch wants to be a replacement, 1624. Whisper this guy right here, Bloodhound 1624, and then you can enter the arena. You'll see this at the top of the bracket. The password is AL. I need one substitute. I had 2 subs. One of them can't make it, and one of them's preoccupied at the moment. Nice, I got one. Thank you for helping. I appreciate it, guys. Unevolved doing a pretty good job here. He's got 13 seconds. He might just have enough time for his heal as well. He's got to time it really well. Good mitigation right there. Good use of his Spectral Walk. He's got to pop that heal as soon as he can. Good job by Artemis stunning. Does he get the heal off? No. That was a beautiful stun by Artemis right before the countdown, denying him of his heal, which he would have got. He does have a little bit of Shroud. This is going to be really tough, but really good job by him. Oof, that's Artemis that takes it.
There you go.
Sweet, we're all enter.
I'm in it.
Okay, you're next up. So now is going to be, let me just check the brackets right now. So that's Artemis that moves forward. So it's going to be Caesar versus Rawl. Rawl is taking the spot of Magabai.
3-1 for Caesar. So what, do we bow or what?
No, he just ready up when you're ready. Esoterical,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not his turn yet. Let me make him. Is he Caesar? He's not Caesar.
Is he Caesar?
There's Caesar right there.
Oh yeah, that focus, dude.
There we go. So it's Caesar. This is the guy you're supposed to be fighting. It's Caesar over here. He's running. He's a really strong Hollow versus Rawl, who's running on the Weaver. I'll actually show you the builds right after. It was a little bit of confusion. One guy tried to sneak in an extra match, but I told him, not today. Tried to get the Prime Light Beam. Good job by Lord Rawl getting away from it. He's got his little bubble and his Swirling Winds to mitigate a lot of that Photon Blitz. He gets him in the Shockwave and actually finishes right there. Caesar is another strong contender. He's been in a few of my tournaments and he's one to watch. I'm sure he's going to be going into the semifinals. He's a very strong competitor, but so is Raw as well. He's been in a lot of my tournaments, and he does use a lot of different characters, but he's been really liking this Weaver as of late. He's running Rune of the Eagle with Marauder. He's also got Scepter with the Focus. He's running Water, Arcane with Weaver. Let's take a quick look at Caesar over here on this side.
Is it one and done?
No, it's best of 3, my friend. He's running Tools, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. He's also got Rifle with Rune of Leadership and Demolisher. He's also running Sigil of Agility and Energy, which makes sense.
Cortez, you're gonna have to help out.
You guys just have... Why is Alexander Cortez inside? I'm not sure, but I'm going to make him spectate. Numeral, you can enter. Mega was by space, and no, that's Raw actually took my spot. So here we go with game 2. There's actually one more match after this before we start our quarterfinals. So this is the first round, and it actually went really smooth this time. Everybody that I roster checked has been here except for one person, Macaboy, but he was already predetermined that he wasn't going to be here, and I had enough time to get us up, so everything worked out really smooth, and it's going really well so far. Now we have Lord Nostradamus trying to just sit back a bit. None of them are trying to engage too quickly. This kind of works out for Lord in a little bit. I think he does have a little bit of barrier, so when it does get to the map mechanic, he should have a decent advantage if it does get there. He actually used the supply crate. I didn't know. No, he wasn't. Was that a supply crate he used? Yeah, it was a supply crate. He changed over from Prime Light Beam to supply crate, maybe to try to pin him down a little more, but Swirling Wind's used up. We're all doing a good job of taking full advantage of that stun. That's how you want to do it. You get the big stun, the window of opportunity presents itself, and you take it. He tries to get the shockwave. Good job by Nostradamus getting away. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he is quite squishy. He is running Marauder, so he doesn't have that much toughness. He does have the vitality, good damage putting on him. He makes him pop his Elixir S, and this is where Lord Nostradamus wants to be. He knows he has no more oh shit. Good job by giving him extra pressure by the distance. He gets caught in the shockwave. That's super unfortunate. Followed up by the Photon Blitz, and then just cleaves. That's Caesar that takes it, but that was a much more impressive showing by Raw. But that's Caesar that takes it. Now our next match in the first round, our last match in the first round, is going to be Dabs versus Donson.
Oh shit, dude. This one should be good.
This one should be good. Don usually plays Warrior. Dab plays Warrior, plays Necro, plays a lot of different classes, which I really appreciate when people try to change it up a bit. You don't always see the same character playing the same tune. So it keeps it lively. You don't always have to worry, oh no, this guy's coming in with this guy again. So let's take a quick look at Plus Ultra. Let me just make sure that everyone is here. This is Donson, and that is Dab. He's running his Elementalist today. So let's take a quick look. He's running, Donson's actually running Firebrand. He usually runs with, excuse me, sorry guys. He usually runs with Warrior, but he's running with Mender over here, and he's also running with Earth. He's got Scepter Focus with Legend with an Axe and Shield. Let's take a quick look at Dab. He's running with Sword Focus, Rune of Balefire with Sage Amulet. He's got Fire Arcane with Weaver. I didn't see his steals over here. He's got Zeal, Honor, and Firebrand. He's going for the new area. That's big pull coming out by Donson, trying to get the pressure onto Leaf Velveta, which is Dab. Good exchange from both characters right now. He's got the Shield of Wrath up, gets the big burst down onto Leaf Velveta. He's got to kind of try to get away right now, mitigate some damage, get some cooldowns, go into water and try to regain some health. Good job by Ultra, by Donson, keeping the pressure up. That was just a little too much for him.
Alright, have fun, you guys.
Thanks for coming, Raw. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's fine.
So this is going into game 2, guys. This is the last match of our quarterfinals. Let's see if SF Pardo is in there. This guy enters all my attorneys, SF Pardo, but he's always missing at the end. So Maga Boy is actually here, so he's going to take my spot. This is game 2. Let's take a look at Velveeta, if he's made any changes to his build. Fire Arcane Weaver. Still sword focus, no major changes. No. Still looks confident in what he's running. Velveeta going quickly for the no port, trying to get the upper ground in terrain. He's got to be really careful over here. He can't get caught in those pulls or get caught in those symbols. Good job by Ultra, just putting up some auto attacks to get some cleave down. Punish him for being at such a distance. A lot of burnings going down. He's not able to clear. Good job by Velveeta. This is really crucial. Those burns did a lot of damage, made him use a lot of cooldowns. Let's take a quick look at. He's gone through one of his tombs already, but he's still sitting pretty good. Velveeta can't get too anxious. He can't get too pressured. He can't burn through too much at the moment. They're both looking pretty good. Looks like Dawson's getting the better of the exchange between the two right now. It's kind of evening out, though. Those burns is what's going to get him, man. Holy, he's not watching them, and he can't clear them. Good job by Velveeta. He's got to keep the pressure now onto Dawson if he can. He can't close the gap. He did just use his weave self. Oh, big pull, big cleave. That was big by Dawson over there to counter pressure. He did the turn and burn. I don't know if Velveeta has anything to get away. He does manage to get his heal off. He gets into water. Oof, this is going to be dangerous. Let's take a look at Dawson and what he has for cooldown. He's got no more tombs left. His mantras are all pretty much down except for his elite. This is getting really, really tight. Even though Velveeta has low health, Dawson doesn't have many cooldowns. He does get the mantra for his heal. One of his tombs has come back. This doesn't look good. That's for Dawson that's able to move into the quarterfinals. So now we're starting our first match, which is going to be Magabai versus Azog Margus. I'm just going to run to the mist really quick. Sorry guys, I've already mentioned the next two competitors, but by the time I get back they shouldn't have started. And this is the official beginning of our quarterfinals. So they're going to be much more interesting matches. Not that the first weren't, but... take this guy to thank you guys and make sure it's the same people that have entered. This guy, he keeps entering. I don't know who he is. Yeah, Esoterical wanted to enter, but he wasn't here for the... I don't know why Sterling has entered either. I'm just making sure the right people enter. So Cali, unfortunate, is going to be Magabai, but his account name here is Sterling. So Magabai is actually Sterling, but he took the spot of me. Perfect. So let's take a quick look at Sterling over here. We haven't seen him, and it's a Mesmer. We don't see too many Mesmers anymore in our tournaments. We used to see them rampantly running around, but now not so much, and I'm very thankful for that because my most hated class is fucking Mesmer. Ugh, I despise them. So we got Fortunate Player versus him. Let's take a quick look at what he's running. He's running with the Deadshot, Rune of the Traveler. He's running Staff with Scepter Pistol. He's also got Chaos, Dueling, and Mirage. Let's take a look at Kali Azoga, who's running with Defense, Discipline. Yeah, Discipline and Spellbreaker. He's running Rune of Strength, Demolisher, Great Sword, Axe, Shield. Classic Spellbreaker build over here. I'm going to take a look at Azog, who Azog did have to go through the first round. Magabai did get it by just because of the way challenge. He's got to watch out. Oof. Oof. That was pretty dirty right there by Magabai right there, cleaning him up really, really quickly. He didn't keep an eye on his condies. He had about 13, 12 stacks of Torment, and that really did it in for Kali. He's got to be much more attentive, and he's got to have a lot more clear. Just going to run to the bathroom really quick, guys. I can't hold it in anymore. Sorry guys, and I completely forgot that my webcam was off too, so hey, how are you? Yeah! Okay, I think that was Megabyte who took it. Sorry, you guys were able to watch it. I had to use the urination station. Oh, Kaliazog who actually took that one. 1-1 series. Good job by Kaliazog. I didn't see the action, you guys did. It looked exciting. Kaliazog definitely reversed that right there. Our next match after this, so you guys know, it's going to be Alex, who was actually replaced. No, Alex is actually in this. Alex versus Jake is going to be our next match. I'll post the challenge.com bracket in there one more time. I'm going to watch Kaliazog for this one. He went for the extra Connie removal, which is really smart, especially going against this Mirage. Good mitigation. He still has a shield, which he just pops now. Good job mitigating a lot of his damage. He's standing inside the Chaos Storm. He's got to get out of there. He's got the quickness up, stability, and protection. Doesn't look too good. He still has the Signet if he needs it for the resistance. He's got full adrenaline. He's being patient. He has his shield as block as well. Tries to get him the Bull's Charge. Actually connects in the Bull's Charge. Quickly goes into stealth for Fortunate. Smart idea because he could have easily finished it. Tries the full counter. Misses it. Goes for the rush. Doesn't connect on that either. He's standing in the Chaos Storm. A lot of Connie. This is where he wants to use the Signet. Good stun lock by him. He's got to use the Endure Pain. Oof. And that's Fortunate. That takes it. Our next match is Alex versus Jake. Just running to shamelessly promote, guys. Bear with me. If you like this type of content, click that follow, click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. I do these every single day. Is this that esoterical guy again? Yes, it's that esoterical Valiant Cole. Merp the Scrapper, this esoterical guy, I'm gonna have to kick out. So Merp the Scrapper over here, he's running his Hollow. He's actually against the other Hollow in his first round. The other one was running Inventions, I believe. He's running with Tools, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. He's got the Rifle with Demolisher and Leadership. He's running with Energy and Cleansing. Let's take a look at Valiant Cole. Running with Axe, Shield, and Greatsword. Running Energy and Savagery with Courage and Energy. He's also got Rune of the Daredevil with Demolisher. Running with Strength, Defense, and Spellbreaker. Almost gets him in that Bull's Charge. It looks like he connected, but it maybe he stun break right after. Let me take a quick at Merp. I don't think he stun breaked out of it. He has nothing to get out of it. He did use the Photon Well really well. He doesn't manage to connect on the Shockwave, but does manage to be able to use the net shot and immobilize him. He's got really good ground, getting some good damage. That's really good job by Merp, taking full advantage of the high ground and making Valiant Cole come up to him. He is more of a melee class. Good job by Valiant Cole, putting the counter pressure on top of Merp. Merp having no choice but to use the Elixir S. He's trying to get away, uses a great combo in his healing turret. Valiant Cole doing a good job of mitigating, just trying to create some time because he does have the regen. Merp putting some heavy damage and taking him out. That's the first game that goes to Merp. Valiant Cole putting up a good effort. He almost got him really close. There was a lot of back and forth countering. It was very, very interesting. This is our second match in the quarterfinals. Ooh, the next match after this is going to be really, really good. And the next match after that is going to be good. The semifinals is going to be really entertaining. I'm excited for these matches. I don't think Merp made any changes. Let's take a quick look. I don't think so over here. Let's take a look at Valiant Cole. I don't think he's made any changes. He always likes to run with this Rune of the Daredevil. He does dodge a lot, so maybe it works for him very well. But like I said, he's our gatekeeper, I consider. Once again, guys, I'll take this time to thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, check out my highlights videos. That's all my 1v1s, 2v2s. Click that follow or subscribe if you want to keep track of when I do them. I'm doing a big 2v2 tomorrow. It's going to be over 700 gold in prizes. Oh, he goes for the rampage really quickly. Gets him with the rock throw, but he's not able to capitalize. Gets him in the charge as well, getting some good pressure. Good job by Valiant Cole on this one. That was a great rampage usage. Now he's able to come out of rampage. He's got full adrenaline, and that's exactly it. That was a really good match. We're finally going into a game 2 over here. And as well, guys, at the end of every single tournament, for any of my subscribers, depending on the amount of subscribers right now, I only have 10 subscribers, so I give out 10 gold at the end of every single tournament, and I do my tournaments in Fashion Wars every day. So at the end of every single tournament I do, I give out 10 gold to my subscribers, any of them who can guess the number closest that I choose from 1 to 20. So at the end of the match, I'm going to say, or at the end of the tournament, I'm going to ask my subscribers to pick a number from 1 to 20. The closest one gets 10 gold. So every single subscriber always gets gold at the end of my tournaments. It's just a little extra thing that I can send back to them because being a subscriber doesn't really get too much. So this is another way for me to give back to my subscribers. So if you are a subscriber, stick around till the end. I'm giving out free gold, 10 gold to any subscriber that gets closest to the number that I choose. As I get more subscribers, the gold will increase and increase and increase and increase and increase. It's just a way for me to give back to you guys. I'm not sure what's happening here, but I'm going to tell them once again, ready, up, to start. So here we go, Merp going in with a quick stealth, doing a good job, but Valiant Cole really quick on the shield block, trying to get the Bull's Charge, doesn't land, the Photon Wall comes right back up, he goes right into Rampage, beautiful Rampage by Valiant Cole, he's at high health, and he forces the Elixir S onto Merp, so Merp has no more oh shit handle, Valiant Cole still has a lot of cooldowns, I'm sure, no, he's actually gone through a lot of them, he got caught in a big CC chain, he's got to be very careful, he actually mitigates that big, huge, big, oh my god, that Mage Bane was huge. He tries to get the overcharge, doesn't get it. Valiant Cole gets the block. Wow, that was really action-packed. I couldn't even keep up with it, but that was really impressive from both sides. Both competitors are really going ham on this. Valiant Merp getting some extra just pot shots over here, and that's really key for him right now. He gets him in the quick shockwave. Ooh, Merp the Scrapper does a really good job. That was a good exchange both ways, though. Really impressive.
What's going on, boys?
Not much, buddy. Just a 1v1 tourney at the moment.
Oh yeah? Are you streaming it right now?
Yeah. I don't know who won versus Alex. Alex was replaced by Merp. No, Jake won that one, actually. That was a 2-1 series. This next match is going to be really good. It's Artemis versus Zach, I believe. Artemis versus Zach. Yeah, this is going to be good. Artemis versus Zach. Zach, like I mentioned, Zach hasn't been in too many of my tourneys, but I know him from PvP. I do a shit load of PvP, guys. So after you do a lot of it, you start to see who the good guys are. And if you do enough tourneys, they start to get interested, especially when the pots are big. So you get to see the really strong guys. Zach is really strong, and Artemis is really strong. Let me let them know one more time. Spectacular Degenerate. I know Artemis is here. There's Artemis, Sip My Ocean. And where's Zaki? He cannot swap. He has to stay on the same class. Let me just give him a minute to enter. No, he can't play. I'm not sure. I'm gonna let him know he can't swap. He's going back to his original class, and this is why I don't allow class swapping, because people try to counter their classes and people who are really, really, really talented are able to do this. They're able to use the multiple classes, and they can counter the other class. So I don't allow this, and I also don't allow the fact that you can't change your 3 specs. So to give you a quick idea, so Sip My Ocean, which is Artemis, she's on Ellie. So she started as Ellie, she cannot change Ellie. And she started with Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. So these 3 specs cannot change. She can change all of her traits if she so chooses, which gives you a lot of room for play. She can change all of her utilities if she so chooses. And she can change her weapons, her sigils, her amulets, her rune. She can change all of that. But the class and the specs must stay the same. So this way, it kind of stops you from countering really hard, but it still gives you the ability to kind of adjust your build to counter the person a little bit, or to give yourself a little extra edge. But Zaki went back to his Revenant. He's running Rune of the Resistance because he knows that Artemis is going to come out with that heavy burn. This is going to be a really interesting match. I'm going to watch Zaki as first quickly ports into Artemis. Artemis mitigating some of that damage, just trying to get some cleave. She's got the better ground right now, trying to just put the heavy misses with the shackling wave. Zaki trying to put the pressure. Good evade by Artemis right there. Really intense action. He's gone through a lot of his mitigation right now, so he's got to be really careful. He's on the no port spot. Gets him with the Glint Elite. Artemis mitigating that really, really quickly. Trying to come into with the Flame Burst. She's not able to get any kind of burn down on him, but she's getting the better of the exchanges right now. There's just too much sustain coming out of Artemis. And like I said, Artemis is a very strong Ellie. Tries to get Shackling Wave right again, but Artemis kind of just shrugs that off and asks, what do you got next? Keeping the pressure onto Zac. Zac does have the ability to port, so Artemis has always got to be on her toes. She can't get too complacent, but she's doing really good right now. If I were her, I would just start taking advantage of the no port spots. She might be running a little low on cooldowns, but it looks like she is. She hasn't gone back into water. She still has access to it if she so chooses to go into it. But she's sitting in earth. Now going into fire for some heavy damage. She got the swirling winds up. Now Zaki's trying to... They're actually doing a really good exchange. Zaki getting the better of it. Gets the glint elite on Artemis. Artemis quickly breaks stunts out of it. Right into water to mitigate the damage. Right back into fire. She's not able to get those Condi stacks onto Zaki, who's doing a really good job of mitigating most of the Condi damage, and that's where most of her damage comes from, those burns. She gets them in a good CC chain, is not able... This is what she wants. Those stacks, this is where it is, and we can't get them up. Great fucking job by Artemis. That was incredible. You didn't even notice how quickly she put them on. She changed them really, really quickly. She knew that Zaki was out of a lot of his cooldowns, and she just turned up the pressure, got him in the good CC chain, and comboed really well. She takes game 1. And I'm sure I'm going to see Artemis in the finals. She is a fucking monster. They're playing Ellie for a long, long, long time, and Zaki is no slouch. Zaki is a very, very, very tough competitor, and for her to do that was impressive to say the least. Once again, guys, I'm going to take this chance to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, take a look at my highlights videos. That's where I put everything deemable of watching. My 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and my Fashion Wars contests. Just click follow or subscribe. It really encourages me to keep doing the content that I'm doing now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We're going to go into game 2 here. I'm going to take a look to see if Zaki made any changes to his actual build here. I don't believe he did. He needs the Rune of Resistance. He's running Marauder for the extra vitality. And a lot of people running with dual weapons, they can have dual weapons. Like NGs don't usually run annulment, but anybody who's able to have double or quadruple sigils, they always usually run annulment. Let me take a quick look at Sip My Ocean. Doesn't run it because she's only got 1 set. Right away, trying to get the heavy pressure down onto Zaki. Zaki already down to 52. He's got to be really careful. And the thing is, even with Glint Heal, Artemis doesn't put down too much damage. Actually able to fully sustain through that, using the stack of burns, but he's got to be really... That was really clever on Zach's part. Letting the burning stay on top of him while he has the glint. As soon as the glint is over, he gets rid of all the Condis. That was beautiful maneuvering by Zaki and mitigating a lot of Artemis damage without using any of his own cooldowns. Just the Glint Heal. Really good exchange here, but it doesn't look good for Zaki. I think Zaki's best option is to wait until the actual map mechanic does engage. She does have barrier, which gives her the advantage because when the map mechanic comes, there's no healing, but barrier still takes effect. Oof, Zaki took a lot of damage here. He took a lot of burning off, but he waited a long time to clear them. I think this is Artemis's chance to strike. Zaki trying to get away because he doesn't have much in the way of cooldowns. Tries to get him with the Shackling Wave. Doesn't get that. It's good CC by Artemis. Zaki's got to be really, really, really careful now. He's doing a good job just creating some distance, waiting for his cooldowns. We got 40 seconds left into this map mechanic. I think his best option is to wait until the map mechanic and then just dump all his damage. Shackling Wave again, once again, misses. Artemis always keeping the pressure. She's the aggressor in this match so far. Zaki's just trying to maintain and get a little window of opportunity and take his advantage. Gets her in the Glen Elite. Really good job. But Artemis really quick on the break stun. And that's probably due to the fact that Zaki's not able to put enough pressure onto Artemis to pressure her enough to make her use her cooldowns. So when something does major happen during the match, she does have a cooldown or a CC ready and waiting in the wind. Zaki taking big damage. It doesn't look good for Zaki right now. Artemis has been dominating these duels. And down goes Zaki. Artemis takes that, guys. Our next actual match is going to be Caesar versus Donson. Caesar is another solid competitor, and he's been in about maybe 4 or 5 of my tourneys. Donson has been in a lot of my tourneys. They're both solid competitors. It should be a very, very entertaining match. Zach cheater confirmed. Tech Mojo cheats. Oh, he's got the awkward. Tech Mojo with the cool emotes. Let me just make sure these are the guys that I wanted in here. Sometimes I get some guys who signed up for the tourney and didn't show up for roster check, and they get really angry, and then they try to join halfway through the match. So I always got to be attentive and make sure I know who's running. So Donson running his Firebrand. Like I said, he usually runs with Warrior, but he's running Firebrand today. He's got Rune of Earth, Mender, Focus, and Scepter with Axe Shield. He's running Zeal, Honor, and Firebrand. There is Virtues and Zeal variations of this build. Tools, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. Demolisher with Leadership, and he's running Rifle. Good Prime Light Beam down onto him, but he's got to be careful because Donson does have a lot of sustain. He does have a lot of regen. He's got to keep the pressure on him, and once he gets that window of opportunity, just around here, like when Donson's around 80% is when you got to keep the pressure up and just keep dumping. Once he gets to about 50, that's when you use everything you have left in your toolkit. He actually manages to get him in the Shockwave. He sustains that and break stunts it very quickly. He's getting a lot of AoE burning down. He gets him in the overcharge shot, but he immediately breaks it. He gets him in the pull, which is a really good job by Donson. They're going toe for toe, but I believe Maka is getting the better of the exchange between this right now, but there's a lot of sustain coming from a Firebrand. He's actually gone through a lot of his tombs. He's going through his actual Tomb of Courage. This is the last tomb he has available to him. He's only got one left on his mantra over here. Magaboy doing a really good job. Now, Donson's got to turn on the pressure now. If he doesn't, it's going to spell disaster as it does there. That's Maga who takes game 1. As I mentioned, guys, we also do have a third place finale. So once we finish the semifinals, we're going into our third place match. After the third place match, we have our finals. Our finals is going to be a best of 5 series. We have 200, a little bit over 200 gold in the prizes for this one. So 60% of the pot prize is going to first place, 25% of the pot prize is going to second place, and 15% of the pot prize is going to third place. And now after the tournament, I need to make sure that all 3 winners stay close because I can only give out the prizes once the tournament is fully over. So if you are going to win, or if you do win, please make sure to stick around. So here we go again. I don't think Donson's made any changes so far. I don't see anything. Oh, no, it doesn't seem like he's made any changes. Let me take a quick look at map chat over here. No, everything is good. I'll take this time to solicit you guys one more time. I do these every single day. Between 8 and 11 p.m. is when I do a tourney or a Fashion Wars contest. So if you're looking for some Guild Wars content and you want something to watch, every single day between 8 and 11 I do something. And for the rest of the day I'm just ranking and I'm chilling in Discord with a couple buddies. And if you want to come relax and chill out with us, you're more than welcome to. And as I mentioned also, at the end of this tournament, any subscriber has the chance to win 10 gold. They just have to guess the closest number that I choose from 1 to 20. So here we go. We're starting game 2. Donson's got to be able to put some extra pressure onto Magern. Oof, big prime light beam landing right away, getting a lot of pressure. Donson is paying the price right now. Maga is able to just put down all this pressure with not taking anything in return. He's got to be able to close the gap. He's got to get out of that position, and that's a really good use of terrain. When you start to get up into a higher level of tier of bracket, you start to use the little things start to matter, like terrain and no port spots and jump puzzles. These things start to matter, and you're starting to see them when we get into the semifinals. All these little tidbits make a huge difference in the end. Good job by Dodson just putting the AoE cleave on him, just trying to get him to use a lot of his, look at that, pressure coming down on by Dodson just by the Scepter AoE, just constantly. And as I mentioned, the Hollows don't have a lot of mitigation from Condi. They have maybe, let's take a quick look at Maga. All he has really is his healing turret. If he's ruining Rune of the Leadership, which I doubt he is, Donson's in the pressure right now. Yeah, he is running Rune of the Leadership, so he does have this one, and he does have the passive from Alchemy, which I believe he's running. Yep, the passive right here from Alchemy, which converts Condis. Those are his only 3 Condi covers, so maybe that's why Donson is using a lot of the Scepter to keep that burning going. This doesn't look good for Donson at the moment. Nope, and that's Maga who takes it. Why was that? Who was that? That's Caesar. Yeah, that's Caesar. Let me just make sure that's Caesar. Yep, that's Caesar that moves forward. So now we're officially moving into the semifinals. It's actually going to be Maga. Is it Maga who took my spot? Yeah, it's Maga. Maga versus Jake. Just gonna run to the map chat really quick to solicit, guys. Thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for joining me all the way here. We're at the semifinals, just about to start the semifinals. This is going to be really good matches. The cream is officially rise to the top, not fully, but almost to the top. These are going to be really good matches. Hold on. So here we go. Let's take a quick look at Merp the Scrapper. Let me make sure it is who I decided. It is Jake, and it is Magabai, but Magabai is actually Sterling. So Sterling versus Merp. Merp is actually using Dueling with Illusions and Interruption. He's also got Rune of the Adventure with Carry On. He's running Staff Sword with Torch. Ooh, he's actually running with Doom and Energy on both sides. Let's take a quick look at Merp the Scrapper. He's doing a really good job so far. Here, and I'll post the brackets for you guys one more time if you just joined the Twitch channel. Here, I'll post the brackets for you so you can see who has competed and where we are. This is the first match in our semifinals. Now, Merp over here is running with Sword Shield. He's got Rune of the Resistance because he knows Merp is coming out with he knows that Fortunate Player is coming out with a lot of Condi. He's running with Demo. He's got Inventions, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. Merp. This is very interesting. I don't believe Merp was. I can't say anything now, but I don't believe Merp was running with Inventions before. Let me just whisper him really quick. Now, Fortunate Player is trying to mitigate. Merp's got to be really careful. Yeah, as you can see, he's got to be really careful. He does have a lot of Condi Clear coming up. He gets him in the, that's called the Prismatic Singularity. Good job by Merp. Unfortunate Player doing a good job mitigating, just trying to kite, create a lot of distance, create some confusion with a lot of clones in his way. But Merp is just kind of cleaving them down, which is really good. Good job by Merp creating that distance, getting behind LOS, going into stealth to try to create some more distance, trying to get some cooldowns back. He doesn't look really good. There's a lot of AoE cleave that comes from Merp, so it's really hard on the Mesmer. So Sorry guys, I'm just responding to some whispers. Fortunate's caught really flat-footed over here. Doesn't have much cooldowns. He does have a teleport. He does have an invuln, but he doesn't want to use that distortion right away. He's got to be really careful. There's already 40 seconds left into this map. I don't know if it's going to go to the map mechanic, but I don't know who I'm going to give it to. There's a lot of County coming down onto Merp now. He's got to be super, super, super careful. He does have his healing turret come out. He does have Elixir S. There's his oh shit button. There's the turret. The turret. He's got a combo in it right now. Oh, this is a really good match. We got 20 seconds left. I don't know who I would give it to. Merp does have... He does have the Elixir S he can use. He does have a couple stealths. But Fortunate Player does have a lot of info. Evade. Teleport. He does use the... That's a good timing on his healing turret. There's only 4 seconds left. Now this is where the whole entire dynamic of the match changes. There's no more healing, so it changes everything entirely. He gets him in the singularity, prismatic singularity. Ooh! Merp's in big trouble. And Merp is down. So he did change Merp. I did notice that because Merp did change from inventions, from tools to inventions, but he did lose. So I'm not going to make too much of a stink about it. And he is really new, so I don't mind him coming in. And like I said, he's new, so there is a little bit of leeway that I can give them. And he did lose the match either way, so I'm going to let it slide and let him continue with inventions. So here we go. That's all been clarified. Both contestants did they adjusted to the change really well. I whispered them both, and they were both very, very, very nice about it. There's Fortunate coming back in. This is game 2 of our semifinals and the first match of our semifinals. After this is going to be Artemis versus Caesar, which is going to be really, 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 really epic. So Merp's trying to mitigate, staying a little back here. He's gone into hollow already. Fortunate kind of staying away. Now this is high tier. It looks kind of trolly, but it's not. It's high tier. One is trying to engage the other to make him try to bait into using some of his moves. Fortunate goes into stealth really quickly. He's got the shield up. He's got to be able to put that pressure onto him. He's gone to Shockwave, but Shockwave is so obvious. He actually did connect on that Shockwave, I do believe. The exchanges are kind of stalemating right now. I believe Merp is winning the better of the exchange. He gets him in that big pushback, tries to engage in another stun. Photon Blitz right after. Merp is not, Fortunate Player not looking too good. Merp doing a really good job of keeping the pressure and going over to Mortar just to keep that extra cleave down. Great job by Merp, trying to get the hollow leap, going back into Sword Shield really quickly, trying to keep the damage up. Merp doing a good job of mitigating. I mean, Fortune doing a good job of mitigating. Tries to get him the Prismatic Singularity, but misses. Tries the Shockwave as well. Again, he does have a Photon Blitz. Goes onto the healing turret to mitigate some damage and heal right back up. The faster you use the healing turret, the faster it comes back. And already, he's only got 13 seconds left. Merp has been under some heavy, I mean, Fortune has been under some heavy pressure right now. Great job using that mortar kit. And I don't like Mortar Kit per se, but that was a great use of it, and that's the greatest advantage of Mortar Kit. To be able to cleave and keep the pressure up from a distance and not be able to take any damage in return. Now Merp is trying to get some counter pressure, but he's used a lot of cooldowns in order to mitigate a lot of damage. He's only got one teleport left, and that's the end of it for his cooldowns. And now I'm not sure if Merp understands that this is the end, but he's definitely putting pressure. I think he smells blood, and he's going in for the finish. He actually got the Photon. He gets a big push on the shield. This looks like the finish. He's trying to go for it. Woo, Lord. Merp getting that finish onto the fortunate player. We're going into a game fucking 3. Good fucking job, Merp. Good job. And like I said, when you get to higher tier quality players, it's not necessarily that they're counting your cooldowns, but it's just that they've played so much and they played against different classes that they kind of know when the cooldowns are done. And perfectly judged by Merp over there. He saw Fortunate Player just in the style of play that he was making, and he wasn't aggressive anymore, and he started to try to back off a bit, and he wasn't teleporting, and he was kind of running. Merp noticed that he wasn't mitigating any damage as much as he used to, realizing really quickly that, you know what, he's out of cooldowns, I'm going to go in for the kill right now. Did a great job of seizing that little window of opportunity, jumped on it really quickly, and he got the win. Now we're going into a game 3. This is really exciting. Our semifinals, like I said, the cream is starting to rise. Really good match so far between Merp and Fortunate Player, which is Magabai or Sterling, if you will. He has 2 accounts, I believe. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do these every single day from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Anytime in there, I'm doing 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or Fashion Wars. Click that follow or subscribe if you want to keep track of when I do it. Thank you, guys. Fortunate Player trying to keep the damage up. He's trying to mitigate some of the damage coming out from Merp. Merp doing a really good job. He tries to go into the Photon Blitz, but he was stunned by Fortunate Player. Good job by Fortunate Player. Seeing that, I don't know if that was just out of reflex or if he did it because he saw the Photon Blitz or animation coming up. Again, he kind of kited away and then re-engaged really quickly when he was ready to put down some damage. He's not able to get any heavy condi. He does have the slow that's trying to stay sticking to him. He gets the Chaos Shield up. Merp not going anywhere near that Chaos Storm. Really good exchange right now. They're both standing at about not subpar, but both standing at par. Good job by Fortunate Player, seeing the Shockwave coming up, and he teleports right out of it. He does have a couple cooldowns left over. Let's take a quick look at Merp over here. He does have his Mortar Kit, which is constantly up, and he does have the Elixir S as his oh shit button. He's just using the Mortar Kit, just trying to get some cleave damage down. He does have his Hard Light Arena up, so he can mitigate a lot of that condi and get his boon uptime. So you can see all these boons sitting up, regen sitting really high, his might sitting really high. He's just trying to cleave. Merp is like... Ooh, nice Chaos Storm up there to mitigate some damage. Merp doesn't seem too concerned, though. He's just trying to keep the cleave down. He's just trying to keep the cleave up, and keep the pressure up onto Fortunate. Fortunate doing a really good job of mitigating and getting the better of the exchange. Merp actually using his healing turret right now, so he's got to be a little careful, but the cooldown is very short. He's trying to just chase and keep the pressure on Fortunate. Let's take a look at Fortunate's over here on his cooldowns. He does have a lot of cooldowns. His False Oasis has come up. He still has his Arcane 3-3. The Chaos Storm has been put down, so it mitigates a lot of damage. It keeps the pressure off him. Merp not looking too good right here. He's got to get back out. He's got to use some of his cooldowns and see what he has in terms of mitigation. He saw his Elixir S, and that was really good from Merp, not using that Elixir S, knowing that he wasn't in danger yet. He still had a lot of cooldown left. He said had a lot of mitigation, and he didn't use that button. Most unexperienced players would use that Elixir S when it comes to those situations where they're getting low. This could be really tight. Fortunate Player does not have no more heals left. The timer has come out. Merp's just got to play this carefully. Fuck. Merp takes it. Fortunate Player down. What an exciting turn of events that actually went to the full map mechanic. My goodness. So that was Jake. Let me see who Jake is. Jake Merp. That's Jake. Good job, Jake. Really well hollow played. Like, really good job on hollow right there. That was impressive. Now we have another really good match. Fuck, I didn't make it. I'm just gonna run out really quick to shamelessly promote, guys. Bear with me, please. After the tourney, I'm just gonna do some chilled unranked. I'm gonna do some chilled ranked. I'm gonna have a couple boys inside the Discord, and we're just gonna be doing ranked chilling out, man. Nothing serious. You're more than welcome to join us. And I do these type of things, guys, because there's no content from ArenaNet coming out, and I do these very, very, very often. I used to do them privately with my guild all the time. Well, not my guild, but Zarissa is the guild lead of AL, and I used to do these all the time with AL. And a bunch of people saw them in the map game browser and seeing me do tournaments, and like, can I enter? I'm like, these are guild only. Is like, can I watch? I'm like, yeah, you can watch, but the spectator is full. There's no more room. I was like, oh, do you have a Twitch? And I said, no. And then after so many times of doing this, people were like, I want to watch, I want to watch. So now I finally made a Twitch account, and I'm putting them out there for you guys. I've only been doing this for about 3 weeks now, but the feedback and all the comments I've been getting is nothing but love, so I really appreciate it, and that's why I'm continuing to do it. I'm trying to give you guys some sort of content, something you can look forward to, something you can build towards. I do everything from 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and as well as I do Fashion Wars content. So if you like this stuff, click that follow, click that subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Here we go into game 2, or game 3 actually. I believe this is game 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure. I believe this is game 3. Set my Ocean versus Majabai. This is game 1, excuse me, game 1. Good job by Caesar putting the pressure onto Artemis, but Caesar's got his work cut out for him. These are both really good players. This is really high tier gameplay. If you want to play any of these classes, Ellie or Hollow, these are the type of people you want to watch. They give you a good idea of rotations, what type of moves to use in what type of situations. And as I said, I record these matches so afterwards you can watch them as well. Artemis doing a really good job keeping the pressure onto, what is that? Caesar, yes. Because his name is Majoran, I keep thinking it's Magabai, but it's actually Caesar. Good job by Artemis keeping the pressure, and seeing that she doesn't have any more of heavy pressure that she could put down, she kind of mitigates, walks back, waits for her cooldowns to come back so she can return and give the pressure back onto Caesar. And as I mentioned, Artemis is a really strong Ellie. Like I told you, she was going to get to the finals. And like I told you, Caesar was going to get to the finals. But at this point, I have no idea who's going to win and who's going to come out to the victor. I'm pretty confident this is going to go to the map mechanic. There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to go to map mechanic. Good job by Caesar, though, putting the heavy pressure onto Artemis. Once she gets down to half and you see that she's not resustaining back to full, you know that's that's your time to attack. But now that she was at half and she's regained back to full, you know she doesn't have many cooldowns. If Caesar does have... Oh, there you go. That's exactly what he wanted. Exactly what I was talking about right there. She was at half. Caesar was able to put the heavy pressure down onto her. She resustained back to full, and that was his time to attack. She's already used all her cooldowns to resustain. He came in with the shockwave, opened up hard, too much pressure onto her, and down she goes. Excellently executed by Caesar. Artemis has got to pull out her A game, take off those baby gloves, and come out to play for real, because Caesar ain't fucking around here. That was a really, really exciting match. After this match, we're going to have our third place match, which is going to be, let me just take a look at my challenge.com bracket. It's going to be Magabai versus the loser of this. Let me just post inside the Twitch stream one more time for those of you who are watching. Oh, Lord. So Caesar going really quickly out to Artemis. Artemis with swirling winds up really quickly, try to mitigate any sort of projectile that he's trying to put out onto her. So Shockwave connects on Artemis. You don't see that too often. Shockwave is a very visible animation. and the high tier players don't usually fall for it, but Modern did a really good job of baiting her to come close for the attack and then turning around and getting the shockwave down onto her. That was clever play by Caesar. Now he's trying to put the clever, really good job Photon Blitz just to keep the pressure. He knew he wouldn't even be able to connect with it, but just putting out the Photon Blitz makes her use a cooldown. So when she does come into close to him, he's able to open up with a shockwave or a blunderbuss or a recharge or a prime light beam if he so chooses. Again, this is neck and neck. They're both going really close. Heavy pressure coming on. See, Artemis has got to do a better job over here of mitigating most of that damage from Caesar. She's doing a really good job now. Caesar using his Elixir S. It's kind of a gamble, but at this point with such low health, it gives him an extra time, 3 seconds extra on his cooldowns. He mitigates all the damage, and he's able to get some distance. That in turn was able to let him use his healing turret, combo inside, get up to half health, but it looks like Artemis has got the advantage right now. His healing turret is really low, but if she's going to put the pressure, she's got to put the pressure now. She's fully aware that healing turret doesn't have a long cooldown, and he can easily resustain. As you can see, Photon Wall is up. He's trying to catch his healing turret, which he does. Artemis is still in really good position. Nature's Salad. Here, I'll show you guys right after this. And Artemis trying to go for the finish. She's got to keep the pressure up, but she's at the same time, she's got to mitigate the damage. Artemis doing an incredible job over here. Now we're going into game 3. And as I mentioned, guys, Nature Solid is one of my top donators. Right now, he gave me an Endless Ocean Hammer. He sends me stuff almost every single tourney. He's a very solid dude. Thank you, and big ups to Nature Solid. Thank you, Nature Solid. He donates a lot. One of my top 3 donators that I know of that have given me gold, mystic coins, or skins. Thank you. Without you guys, these would not be possible. Thank you, Nature Solid. You're an OG. So here we go into game 3. This one's going to be really intense. Artemis really, like I said, with top tier players, it not only necessarily it doesn't necessarily have to be what you change in your build. Like your build doesn't have to change per se, and maybe it's just your play style, the way you engage, the way you become defensive, or when you engage on the offensive, how you use the terrain. Ooh, Sip My Ocean taking a lot of damage. Let's see if... No, he didn't change anything here. He just looks like he's going a lot more aggressive, which could cost him because Ali does have a lot of mitigation and can resustain really quickly, but they're both going balls to the walls right here. This is an epic fight right here. He's in big trouble. He got caught with a lot of burning with no healing turret. As I mentioned, hey, thank you so much for that, Knowles. I really appreciate the follow, guys. When you guys click that follow, it kind of encourages me to keep putting this content out. Like I said, I put this content out every single day. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Yes, thank you, sir. Now they kind of both reset over here. McGurn getting Caesar getting the better of the exchange right now. Sip My Ocean is not looking too healthy. She does go into water to try to mitigate. She is topped up. Now let's take a look at Caesar, who's gone through his cooldowns, but he does have healing turret up. He kind of uses it a little preemptively because you can get a lot more heal out of healing turret. He only had about 4k damage in his health pool. I don't know if he should have used it necessarily right there, but the faster you use it, the faster it comes on cooldown. She gets him in the swirling winds with the big CC. McGurn is starting to look low, but that's what I mentioned. If you use the healing turret early, oh, misses with the prime light beam. That would have been fucking huge for him to land. But Artemis is cleverly seeing it. It's a long animation, so she's able to mitigate that damage. They're going toe-to-toe right here. This is a really fucking good semifinals match. There are no holds barred. I think the gloves have been taken off. There's, oh, big overcharged shot by McGurn, but he's not able to capitalize. That Artemis is quickly on the CC stun. McGurn is fully topped up, big CC, but he's knowing that he got CC'd. He's very scared of Artemis coming really close, so instead of taking any sort of damage, he pops Elixir S right away. You know, maybe wait a little bit to see if there's any damage and then use it, but at that close range, there's no way to tell, so he just popped the Elixir S to be super safe. Oh, Artemis getting the big stacks of burn, being able to put the heavy damage. There's no more healing. This doesn't look good for Caesar. Artemis doing a really good job of making sure when the timer was up, putting the pressure down onto him when he needs to. And that's Artemis taking it. Oh my goodness, what a match, what a match, what a match. Artemis moving forward. That was a 2-1 series. So now we're going to go into our game 3, which is Maga versus Caesar. That was an exciting match. Woo! Thank you to both our competitors. That was really top tier fighting right there. You saw, if you want to play Hollow or if you want to play Ellie, these are the type of people you want to watch. I'm going to put this video into my highlights after every single tourney. I put that video into highlights. So if you want to watch these guys in action later on, you're more than welcome to. This is really, really, really top tier stuff right here. I'm not sure if Sterling is here anymore. He may have left. If he has left, then I'm going to give the third place to... So I'm going to let Rix enter just for the third place battle. So if Caesar wins, he gets third place. And if Rix wins, there's nothing given to him. So we're going to take a quick look at Caesar. Caesar watches a lot of my tournaments. He doesn't enter, but he's just more interested in watching the tournament. There's not too much content going on in Guild Wars 2. So when there's something going on, he'll just come in. Really, really, really strong warrior. Solid dude. And he's super, 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 super nice. So right there, I can't give you third place. I'm just going to go. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I don't think there's anything that's going to impair your vision. So you'll be able to see that. I'm just going to turn off my webcam and my mic really quick. But I'll be back. Alright guys, sorry about that. And I don't, like I said, don't judge Rix for this. Caesar has been warmed up thoroughly, and Rix has just been sitting and spectate, kind of watching. So I don't hold anything against Rix, and I actually thank him very much for actually being the substitute for Sterling. Sterling probably got a little sour that he lost, and he didn't even want to do third place, and you know, I don't blame him. He probably thought he was going to get very far. A lot of people think these tourneys are easy. Oh, I'm going to roll right through it. Give me your gold. Give me your gold. And then once they enter, it's usually those guys who say, give me your gold, are usually the ones that are exited in the first round. Because there's a lot of tough competitors in here, man. There's a lot of really strong guys. I've been doing this for a long time, and every day I at least get There is a lot of strong competitors, so don't think it's easy and you're gonna just get the gold. I get every time I put on a tournament, I always say some guy, okay, I'll enter. I'm gonna steal your gold. I'm gonna steal your gold, and in the end, they're usually eliminated in first round. If you know Caesar, if you know Rix, these are both really top dogs. He's starting to engage really quick. He gets the prime light beam out on Rix. He tries to get him in the emote from the net shot, but Rix bull charging right through it. He gets him in the shockwave as well, putting some heavy pressure. Really good job by Caesar right now. Rix trying to get him in the whirl. He tries to throw these, what's that called again? Shield, not shield bash. I forgot what it was called, where he throws the shield and gets the emote. Rick's using the LOS to his fullest advantage, trying to get the counter, the full counter, but doesn't get the whirlwind again with the rush. Tries to get the shockwave, doesn't get the connect. Tries to get him in the stab with the breaching strike, doesn't connect on that either. He's got the arcing slice, does connect on Caesar. Caesar's in a lot of pressure. He does have the mage bane. He rolls out. Good job by Caesar. He's starting to get in his groove now. He goes into Rampage. It's a good call for Rampage because Caesar just fully regained all his stealth. You know he's gone through a lot of cooldowns. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's gone through most of his cooldowns. He does still have S and Photon Wall, but that was a good call on the Rampage from Rix, I believe. He gets him in the Bull's Charge, gets him in the big stun. Ooh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. That's a Caesar Rix who takes game 2 in this best of 3 series for third place. And as I mentioned, Rick did not participate in this match, but he was very gracious and very kind enough to enter and be a replacement for Sterling. So he's fully aware that if he does win, he doesn't get anything. But what he's trying to do is make Caesar work for his third place. So this is the process. If Caesar does win, he gets his third place winning. But if he loses, he gets nothing and Rix gets nothing as well. Because Rix didn't do the work to get to the third place qualifiers, he's just here for entertaining substitute, which I really am grateful for. Thank you so much, Rix. Big ups to you, my man. He watches these very, 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 very often. He just kind of likes to spectate and see some people in action. And like I said, most of the time there are some really top tier stuff. When he gets to the quarterfinals, semifinals, it's really, 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 really entertaining. And if you're looking to play any of these classes, I definitely suggest that you look at my highlights videos. There's a lot of top tier players. I have Naru, Helio, Rainy, Tycurin, Magic Boy, Artemis, Caesar, Zoj. There's everybody that you know that's in the top 25 has participated in one of the tourneys that I recorded, so you can see their type of play style and what they like to do. Ooh, Rick's going heavy in for the pressure, putting some big damage onto Caesar. Caesar's got to really be careful. He's going into the early Rampage. He does the Elixir S, which is kind of a good trade-off because the Rampage is elite and the Elixir S isn't elite. And he's able to, ooh, gets him in the big rock throw. Oh my goodness, gets him with the breaching strike as well. He got him in the Mage Bane. Caesar's in full retreat mode right now. He's trying to get away, tries to get the prime light beam off, but he mitigates that really quickly. Another breaching strike right on top of him. He gets the shield to mitigate any damage, and then Caesar goes into stealth to try to get the opener. And hollows in stealth are very, 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 very dangerous. Oof, good job. He tries another breaching strike, but he isn't able to connect. He gets him in the hollow shockwave, opens up with the photon blitz, being able to put the heavy pressure. He doesn't connect on the Bull's Charge. Caesar doing a really good job right here. Can he finish? Ooh, Rix is in a very dangerous spot. He goes for the whirlwind. He got some Mage Bane, but that's it. Caesar takes it. Ooh, Lord. Caesar, third place. Thank you, Rix, for subbing. Okay, guys, I'm just going to go to the mist really quick. It's Artemis versus Jake. So there's Murph the Scrapper. I'm just waiting for Artemis. There she is. She's in spectate, so I know she's here. There she is at my ocean. She's running with Runa Balthazar to keep that flame damage up. Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. And then we got Murph the Scrapper over here, which is Jake. He's running Inventions, Alchemy, and Hollowsmith. And he did have a little mix-up. He wasn't aware that he wasn't able to change his specs. I did. Is it Murph? Let's reconfirm over here. Jake, it's Jake, yeah. Which is Jake, and this is Jake, I believe. Yeah, Jake. Jake and Artemis. Yes. Best of 5 series, baby. Here we go. We already have our third place with the June Caesar. This is the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. It has arisen here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an exciting match. These are both really qualified players. Murph trying to bait Artemis to come in close to him. He's trying to get the high ground right here. He hollow leaps out of the way, trying to mitigate a lot of her fire damage because she already went through fire, and he knows that he can mitigate it. He tries to get the prismatic singularity, but he doesn't connect on it. Artemis trying to keep the heavy pressure down onto Murph, but he's doing a really good job of cleansing. He's running Rune of Resistance. Really good exchange back and forth right here. Artemis getting the blunt end of the damage over here. The brunt end of the damage, excuse me. Murph doing a good job of sustaining, using the healing turret really quickly. Photon Blitz right after. And he goes into stealth, knowing really quickly that his burst has been used up and he doesn't want to mitigate. He doesn't want to take any damage while he's waiting and sustaining. He goes into stealth. And as he's in stealth, he's far away, creates some distance, goes into mortar, and starts putting down some more heavy pressure without taking any damage in return. He goes right back into hollow, tries to get the coronal burst up. Shockwave is ready. He goes for the healing turret and combos right inside of it. Really clever by Murph. Now Prismatic Singularity used a little preemptively, but he thought this Artemis was going to come a little closer. Artemis has got to start putting pressure onto Murph. Murph seems to be doing whatever he chooses. He's getting the Photon Blitz. He's got the majority of the ground advantage, if you will. He's been taking huge advantage of the terrain. Artemis trying to just back up a bit. And you know what? Maybe her strategy is to mitigate damage until the timer, because she does have a lot of barrier and Murph won't have any more sustain coming from his healing turret that procs so quickly. Artemis doing a good job. There's only 10 seconds left now until the map mechanic. Murph is really, really low, and he's gone to Elixir S. He's only got 7 seconds. I don't know if that'll be enough time to combo. Artemis is sitting at topped up. Murph's in a very, very, very dangerous position. There's his healing turret. He's trying to get as much as he can out of it. He actually does manage. That was really clutch by Murph. He only had literally 2 seconds to drop his healing turret and combo inside it. He does get the Prismatic Singularity, and here comes Artemis with a big, heavy burning. He's able to clear it really quickly, but he's too low. He's standing in the AoE. Murph goes down. Artemis takes it. Ooh, Lord, what a good match. Rick's easy. Once again, big ups to everybody who donated, everybody who participated, and everybody who watched. I thank you so much, guys. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I really, really, really thank you. I'm trying to bring some content into PvP, into the Guild Wars world. And by you guys coming, watching, following, subscribing, really encourages me and makes me want to do more and more. Tomorrow we're going to have another tournament. I do them every day, but tomorrow is going to be a little earlier. On Saturdays and Sundays, I like to do them earlier. Most of my tournaments are between 8 and 11 p.m. Eastern, so I do them earlier on Saturdays and Sundays, so whoever can't come in during the late evenings can participate during the early ones. It's going to be a 2v2 over 500 gold in prizes. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm not sure if I'm going to attain that goal, but I'm going to talk to a bunch of my donators to see if I can. But I'm trying to get to 1,000. Right now, I'm over 500 gold in prizes for the 2v2 tomorrow. You can sign up as a free agent, or you can sign up with your partner. So just let me know. Whisper this gentleman right here, Bloodhound 1674, if you're interested in doing so. So here we go, guys. We're going into game 2 of our best of 5 series. Whoops. Sip My Ocean doing a really good job. She looked a little bit pressured at the beginning of that match. It didn't look too good for her, but she regained her composure. She held really strong and just kind of burned through Murph's cooldowns, found her moment of opportunity, saw that window starting to open up a bit, and she just fucking ran right through it. Murph taking a lot of pressure right now. He's got to be really careful, trying to get the shockwave. He actually managed to land that. That was probably the end of the distance for shockwave, but he still was able to get it. Sip My Ocean is getting really low. This is where he wants to take full advantage. He's got the pressure up. She's going through a lot of cooldowns. He's just got to keep that pressure up. And as you can see, he's gone into mortar, but he's kind of inadvantageous because a lot of the LOS, that corner of that step, caught a lot of his mortar kit bombs. Good stealth, trying to re-engage, but he's also got to be careful because Artemis has a lot of sustain and it comes down off cooldown really quickly. So once he sees his moment of opportunity, he's got to stay on top of her. A shockwave again lands on Artemis, perfectly executed by Merp. Trying to keep the pressure. Prismatic Singularity does not connect. She evades through the entire... Oof, this is a really good match. Back and forth right now. They're both sustaining. I think this is going to go to... Oof. Sip My Ocean is getting really low. Now, this is where Merp has got to stay on top of her and keep the pressure. She's gone through a lot of her cooldowns, and she's finally starting to get low. This is where he has to take the advantage. She's gone to fire out of desperation just to try to counter pressure with some damage because she's got no more source of mitigation. But Merp giving her that little breather room. Big sustain, big stun coming out from Artemis. He does manage to break through it. He doesn't get any bleeding stacks or burning stacks in because of that. Good job by Sip. Good job by Merp. There's only 5 seconds left. They're both doing a good job of making sure that they're up. Merp is not looking at his healing. The timer has gone up. He could have topped up, but he doesn't take advantage. He does have all his cooldowns. Let's take a look at Artemis, who's doing really good over here. Ooh, he gets the Prismatic Singularity off. This is going to be really tough. Artemis does have the advantage of barrier. Good job by Mert. Trying to mitigate some of it. Keeping the mortar kit damage and AoE up. Now it comes down into positioning here. The AoE effect is coming up. It is cancelling out the majority of the map. It's getting really close. It's starting to encroach on both players. Merp is trying to get away. I don't know if he notices it. I hope he notices the AoE and he doesn't get killed by it. Now it's all about ground. If he can use a prime light beam and maybe even an overcharge shot to push Artemis back. No, that's Artemis who takes game 2. Good job by Artemis. Very well executed. It's just talking in map chat, sorry guys. And this is like, I get this at the end, like Merp is complaining a bit that he didn't know about the map mechanic. But like I mentioned, this is exactly why I start my tourneys at a certain time, and then 15 minutes after they start officially is I allow for bracket roster check. He had 15 minutes to do his bracket check. He wasn't here for bracket check, and he had to go somewhere. He wasn't here, so he was unavailable. Then afterwards, he was able to return. I used him as a sub, and unfortunately, he didn't see the rules, so that's not my problem. That's his problem, and unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So Artemis are already taking heavy advantage, putting the heavy pressure onto Merp. Merp has already gone through a lot of his cooldowns. He's only got Elixir S left. Artemis doing a really good job. She's already in a 2-0 series against Merp. He tries to go for the shockwave. He doesn't connect on Artemis. Artemis doing a good job seeing it and mitigating it. Merp just trying to create some distance and trying to get some cooldowns back. He does have his healing turret. He does have all the utility from the shield, which he does use very well. Merp kind of standing there. Artemis kind of standing there taking the damage, but she knows that she has a bunch of evade frames. She's able to mitigate that. She has some barrier. Merp is able to actually connect on this. He tries to get the prismatic singularity, which he does connect on. Heavy pressure still coming from Artemis. She does not relent. Merp's got to be really careful. I think this is going to go into the map mechanic once more, guys. There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to go into the map mechanic. Merpson, he's in stealth. He's trying to get any damage that he can onto Artemis, but Artemis' sustain is just too strong. And then once he gets to the map mechanic, Merp's got to be really attentive. He's got to make sure, because last time in the last round he did not use his heal, and he could have topped himself up a little more, which could have left him some room to do a little more damage or give him a little more leeway. But right now we got 5 seconds left in the mechanic. He's doing a good job of staying topped up. He still has his Elixir S as his oh shit button. Let's take a quick look at Artemis, who's already down into halfway mark. This is a really good sign for Murph. He's trying to keep the pressure up onto Artemis. Artemis has got to mitigate it. She does have some sort of barrier to mitigate some of that damage and not take some big crit. But this looks really good for Murph right now. Artemis has got to turn it around. She's cleverly not using her regen, because she can't use it. It doesn't really make any difference. He gets him in the big shockwave, and Merp takes it. Ooh, Lord. I'm just going to run to the map chat really quick to solicit one more time, guys. This is game 4, I believe, of our 5-game series. Really good job by Merp. And once he figured out that there was no healing after the map mechanic, he really adjusted well. He's still running what he ran before. Artemis is still looking like what she ran before. Good exchange. Marp taking heavy damage. He got caught in the burning, I think, really quickly, but he's able to mitigate a lot of it. He does still have his healing turret. He's being very resourceful with it. He's not using it right away. Almost maybe baiting his health for her to come close so he can engage and get some good counter pressure on her. But Artemis has got so much in the form of sustain that it's very difficult for Merp to keep it up. Good CC, but Artemis isn't in a good position to really take full advantage of that CC. She comes in fire trying to get that burn on him, but Merp is very clever knowing that he can easily mitigate the damage. He only sees 2 burns on him. He doesn't use his healing turret right away to mitigate and cleave. She's got him in the swirling winds. He's doing a good job of mitigating most of the damage. The prismatic singularity does connect. She's able to use a stun to get out of it. Merp is sitting at half health. Artemis still sitting really well with a lot of barrier. He's just trying to use any form of his mortar kit to try to keep AoE pressure down around his body so she doesn't engage. He misses on the shockwave. Good dodge by Artemis. This is a really intense match. Holy moly. This is definitely going to go back into the map mechanic. It's a 2-1 series right now. Artemis has the advantage. Murph is at the disadvantage. He has won one game, which was the last one. Maybe he can take momentum. Big pull by Artemis. She's got him in the swirling winds. Big CC by Murph. He almost was able to counter on that, but he's taking a lot of counter pressure in return. He's able to clear a lot of the damage. Prismatic Singularity does not connect. He's just mortaring wherever he can to keep the AoE down. We got 0 seconds left on the timer. Both people have taught themselves up to the fullest amount that they can. Artemis is sitting a little better than Murph. Murph is taking a lot of damage right now. He doesn't have any burning, which is a really good call. He's got to keep that. Whoa, Murph able to put some counter pressure down onto Artemis. Artemis has got a lot of barrier though. Murph has some sort of barrier. He's just trying to cleave with as much mortar as he can. He goes into sword. Now he uses Elixir S. This is his last desperation move. Hollow leap into Artemis, trying to get the shockwave. Does get the shockwave. Oh no. And that's it. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate that. I do these every single day. So every time between 8 and 11 p.m. is when I'm running one of my tourneys, either 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. So anytime you want to look at some sort of PvP content, come check out my channel. This is where I do it. If you like this type of stuff, click that follow, click that subscribe, and you'll be able to keep track of when I do them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm probably going to take about 10-15 minutes to kind of just decompress, go through all this, put the video onto my highlights. Yesterday's video I didn't put on highlights either, so I'm going to put that one and this one on highlights. And then I'm going to come back 10-15 minutes later and just do ranked, chill out, come hang out with me, talk in the chat. And we're just going to be doing some ranked with a couple boys inside the Discord. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. Our champion today is Artemis. She's a really strong Ellie, really impressive. Allies have been really dominant. I'm really happy to see that. I fucking hate Mesmers. They've always been strong. Finally, they're on the bottom rung. And Ellie's never got any love. And now, finally, they're getting love. And they're the dominant players in my 1v1s. And I'm really happy to see that. Artemis taking it. Murph in second. And Caesar in third. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. I really appreciate it. No, Hal Jenkins, we're not doing our PvE next. But maybe next week is when I'm going to officially schedule PvE nights. It's going to be 6 or 8 of us. They're all going to group up about 3 to 4 times every week, and we're going to do PvE. Sorry, Hal. But 6 or 8 of us are going to group up every week, 3 to 4 times a week, and we're going to go through the story all together from start to finish. And hopefully by the time we finish, we get into the 3rd expansion, which is coming out September 13th, and we're going to go through that all together as well. So if you guys want to watch, we're going to do it every night. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. I do this every night. Click that follow, click that subscribe. Thank you. In about 10-15 minutes, I'll be back, and we're going to be doing some just unranked. Some ranked, excuse me.